Get it on the jet sweep to the short side. Up the sideline. Sam McCaffrey. He is gone.
Intercepted. It is intercepted by the Tigers. Stephen Brogan picks it off for LC.
Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies, along with Tory, Strock. I am Lynn, Groll. We have a special guest this week, 2004 Tinora graduate Kevin McCann joining us.
Good to be here
this week. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
I got the text from you, and it was like, man, people still remember that I played football.
I remember you well, my man. I remember you well. You were one of the all-time greats from Northwest Ohio.
He looks like he could still play.
I think he could.
You know what? It was 2 or 3 years ago, I did a tunnel run with my son for flag football. I was out on the varsity field and go running out there, and my knee just was like, because I always used to think, I could play a half. I could still do a half, but I ran on the field a couple of years ago, and it was like, nope. The dream is officially over.
Went on to play at the University of Findlay and had a great career there as well, and I have it under pretty good authority that you were a monster at Findlay with the power clean. I hear from back in your day.
Probably my favorite lift, I guess, but yeah. I tell you what, I went to Findlay, and I would have gotten there, 04. They walk in the locker room, and I guess, for anybody that's not familiar with, football, I mean, Division I was always, that was the goal, when I was going through high school. And so I feel like, not that I was certainly not ungrateful to go to Findlay by any means, but it was Division II, and it felt like, I didn't know anything about Division II. So worked all summer and lifted on my own, and I get to the weight room, and you show up as a freshman, and our safety, J. Cole, is benching 500 pounds. I'd never seen a bar bend before, and I walk in the weight room as a freshman, and these guys are just, power lifting like crazy, which, I mean, as I was at Findlay, they kind of transitioned, I think, a little bit from the big, huge, we were texting and talking about the Cottermans, huge guys. I got there, and there was monsters on that team, just lifting, benching like crazy, but I was always pretty decent at power clean, even in high school, so I get there, and as a freshman, you kind of have to prove. I hadn't been around. A few freshmen came up and lifted over the summer, but I was kind of just warming up, and they wouldn't really let freshmen do that much, just because Coach Wagner, he didn't know if you could handle it or not, and this kid from Cincinnati, Xavier, had been up there all summer. He was the safety. You could tell everybody was high on Carpenter, and so I'm watching him, and he power cleans 275, and everybody's, whoa, yeah. And I was like, can I try that? And Wag's like, I don't think so. I was like, no, I can do that. And he's like, all right, you only get one shot. And I pop it up, and I was like, okay, maybe I can hang here. So, yeah.
That was your moment when you knew you could play there.
Yeah,
huh?
I was like, well, maybe I'll be able to fit in. Because, I mean, you don't know. You get to Division, and again, back to Division II, there were some really, really good athletes that I played with and played against, and I mean, it's kind of the unsung. I mean, it's kind of a shame when you go to some of the games. It's like, man, I wish they could draw a little bit better crowd because it's good football. I mean, there's good athletes there. It's good. And so yeah, I enjoyed my time at Findlay. Got there, and we were pretty solid when we got there. Had some coaching changes throughout my career, and went through a couple years of not great football, and then kind of finished kind of on the upswing. And they've been in good hands since I don't know, the past 7 to 10 years. They've been pretty solid. 6-0 right now, so doing well. Coach Allen's still there. That's nice. Reach back. He was on the coaching staff. He's worked his way up through the rungs, and so it's nice whenever I get back there. Still have a little connection. It's nice. So
outstanding.
Yep.
Tell the folks listening and watching, obviously Defiance Physical Therapy is what you're doing these days, owner of that. Take us through that for those people that are watching and listening.
That was, when you look back on, I was kind of referencing, I was unbelievably blessed. I knew nothing. I mean, my parents, and God bless them, they're awesome parents, but we knew nothing about football recruiting or anything like that. So looking back on it, to land on Findlay, they had a physical therapy program. Everything ended up being perfect. So they have a 3+3 program. I was able to get through the program in 6 years and graduated, met my wife. She's a physical therapist as well. So Findlay ended up being perfect, academically, athletically, and then graduated, and my wife's from Ottawa Glandorf, so we lived in Ottawa Glandorf for a year. She got a job in Napoleon. I was working in Defiance, so we moved back to Defiance, and she hasn't forgiven me since. I picture Putnam County people, I feel like as you go further south, people get more and more attached to their hometown. Putnam County is that way. Yeah. The MAC, anybody down there certainly is, So, but yeah, we ended up building a house. We're right around the corner from Tinora now. Again, talk about being fortunate and blessed. In 2013, started Defiance Physical Therapy. We got a business partner, Napoleon guy, Ryan Crandall. He was ratting me out for my picks earlier, I heard, but it's been great. We've been going strong for 12 years now, which is crazy. But we've got a location in Bryan as well, so life's been good. Yep.
Outstanding.
Are you trying, Kevin, you said you have a location in Bryan as well. Do you want to continue to grow, or are you good with just Defiance and Bryan location?
It's kind of funny because when we started, Defiance was like, Ryan and I, would talk about a business that you start, everybody says, well, business partner, that's no good. Couldn't have asked for a better business partner because it's just unbelievable. We get along really well. We're at the same points in our lives. And it had this innate feeling that this is not going to fail because we're both going to work our tails off, and it'll work out somehow. We've gotten a good work-life balance. I've got 6 kids. Ryan's got 4, and we're getting to the point where, we're coaching, we're doing this and that. So it tends to feel a little bit more like a capacity thing. I think we feel pretty good at this point. We'd be open to potential for, you never want to close the door and say, well, this is it, because we started the Bryan Clinic, and that was one that we kind of dipped our toe in the water. An opportunity presented itself. My wife actually went up to Bryan and got that clinic off the ground for us. We've got twins who are, they're going to be 4 in November. So once 5 and 6 came, we scaled back our work a little bit, and but that's been awesome. So that clinic is doing a good job of we're able to be a present there, but we stay pretty busy in Defiance as well. So I certainly would never say never. We're looking for opportunities, but appreciate what you have too.
Yeah.
So yep.
That's great.
You accept the new patients. We can give you a little plug for
always accept the new patients. It's been fun to see. It seems like we're drawing more and more of a radius, and it is nice. We try to make our bread and butter being there for student athletes and try to accommodate as much as we can. But really, the true patients, the true people that keep the doors open are mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. So it's one of those things where if you treat the kids right, then hopefully word spreads. And it is nice just to, now that my oldest is a 7th grader, and I'll go to different sporting events and this and that, and be able to engage with people from different communities, and it's great, just kind of making connections, knowing people, keeping tabs on athletes. So, certainly, like I said, we'll try to cater to athletes whenever we can. We always enjoy being able to have somebody in that you can really just kick their butt. But
Kevin, if you have, you guys offer like a Saturday morning bump clinic?
We used to, and enough Saturdays went by where it was just kind of, I guess a couple things to that. We don't really do anything in the athletic training game anymore. We used to kind of dabble in that, and that most athletic trainers, a lot of athletic trainers are employed by a little bit more of the bigger facilities, your nationwide park views and so forth. So we try to maintain as much, communication with the local athletic trainers as what we can. We usually we haven't done the Saturday morning bump clinics for a while. And that, again, that's just capacity. I'm out coaching flag tackle bar football on Saturday mornings, and Ryan's usually doing stuff with his boys. So, but pretty much anybody in the community that if they need to get a hold of us, they find a way. And I've assessed a knee out on the practice field before, so always willing to help out and at least lend some advice when I can and kind of get people pointed in the right direction. I think that's usually what people are looking for. Hey, what's the next step? I mean, if it were me, I'd go this route, I'd go that route. So that's a nice thing, and I think that's where we kind of have carved out a little bit of a specialty. Just kind of we've made the analogy before. We're kind of like point guards because we're private outpatient. We don't have an affiliation with any of the bigger clinics, so I'm going to direct you to where I'd be sending a family member for whatever ailment you have. So that's kind of our role, I would say. Yep.
Outstanding.
That's great.
Thank you for sharing. Going to get to our Gherkin Company's rock solid performance from week number 8 after we come back from these messages.
Hard-working individuals have been the heart of the Gherkin Companies for generations. Together we construct the highways and infrastructure that strengthen our communities. Gherkin is seeking rock-solid performers. We offer generous benefits, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. Want to be part of something big, steady, and stable with room to grow? Whether you're experienced or just starting your career, we encourage you to apply at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Thank you to the Gherkin Company's title sponsor of our podcast again this season. I'm going to hand out our rock solid performance from week number 8. Go ahead, Coach Strock. Who are your nominees? I have one, and that's it.
Well, I know
you can give me some nominations, but I have a clear-cut winner.
Okay, well, it's probably the same one I have circled. I've got a list longer than normal, but I'll just touch on them quick. But I have one too. There's another one though I think you could argue for if you pick one. I'm thinking you might. So New Bremen, huge win over Coldwater. It's been a million years
since 1997.
I mean,
since they knocked off the Cavs.
That's rock solid.
And defending state champions.
Absolutely. Minster's win over Versailles. I think, they're 2 weeks removed or 3 weeks removed from about knocking off Marion local. Minster, all they've done is get to 5-3, and they graduated some studs last year. Defiance, I thought, was rock solid a week ago. They didn't just get back on track by beating Elida. They played a clean game. I don't think Defiance had a single penalty in that football game, and they'd been kind of snake-bitten with penalties and some mental mistakes in that. Defiance was rock solid, and I'm happy for Coach Rittenauer. I'm going to skip the next two because those are my two finalists. Liberty Benton, I know on paper a lot of people like them to beat Lipsick. Both 7-0 coming in, and they just dismantled them. Yep. That's rock solid. Fairview, not that they beat Edgerton, but that was a pretty heralded matchup there, and Fairview left no doubt. So congrats to the Apaches. And then Archbold had to be rock solid in the second half, trailing 21-7 at the break. Their effort in the second half, I thought, was rock solid. Here's my two finalists. Columbus Grove plays against one of the top rushers in the United States of America, and they absolutely slammed the door on Braxton Leith and Crestview, shut them out in impressive fashion on Military Appreciation Night. Love Grove's rock-solid effort. I have the Genoa Comets circled. What they did against a solid, consistent Eastwood team, I think the Genoa Comets were rock solid. Those last two are my final two, but I'm good with whatever you...
I like Genoa this week. Okay. I think you throw Marion local in there. I think we kind of gloss over them every week just because they've won 72 straight. And they had to go to double overtime to beat Anna. Mm-hmm. But another team I think you can throw in there is a rock-solid performer with a double overtime win. But I like Genoa, 42-27 over your good friend Sam Kotterman there at Eastwood. Sam, turn it off here for a second. Yeah. I know he listens to this. But
so Columbus Grove, no consideration?
Consideration, but not the winner.
Okay.
Not the winner.
I can't argue with Genoa over Eastwood.
Crestview is not
Eastwood.
That's what I think.
Okay.
The way Eastwood came into that game, Drew Ludhart back at quarterback, Eagles were playing well. And, boy, Genoa's just got me about every week this season. When I pick against them, they win. Every time I doubt them, the Comets and Bill Fisher rise up and pick up the victory. I think I'm picked against them at least 3 times this season. So I'm not picking against them anymore the rest of the regular season.
No.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
It'd be hard
and
to.
I'm going to give them the rock-solid performance, and I don't know if I want to go over there to Genoa and face those guys because they're probably not too happy with me.
No, I don't know if they're a forgiving bunch over
I
there.
don't know if they are either. I don't know if
They
they
might
are.
not be.
I might need you to come with Robbie Myers and myself on Thursday to hand out that award because I know Bill Fisher's a friend of yours.
He is, and I, not to toot my own horn, you'd be better off with me. I don't know how much Robbie's going to do for you if things get a little physical.
Well, no, because I went over to Paulie a couple weeks ago, and he thought it was funny that I picked against them that week, that they won the award. Because I picked Fairview that week. I had to face them, and then Robbie rubs salt in the wound each week when this happens. And there was another team that I picked against, and then I had to go face them. And Robbie doesn't help.
No.
You think he would have my back, but he doesn't.
No, I believe it. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
Congratulations to Genoa and Bill Fisher and the crew there as they are our Week 8 rock-solid performer. We'll get you your awards here later this week. Guys, the pick's not going well for me. I am 5.5 back now. I lost another game a week ago to you, Tory. You are now 277-64. I am now 266-64. You were 32-9 last week. I was 30-9.
Okay.
What's the winning percentage of the guest pickers you've had? What do I have to beat?
Dick Cromwell was 38-4. If you can do the quick math there, 38-4.
Yeah, he was impressive that week. He was impressive. Kevin, I told Lynn last week, I was down a little bit, and I took a lead, and I'm in the lead right now, but I'm even Steven, man. I'm not getting too high, not getting too low. Sometimes I get a little cocky. Not anymore. I'm a new man.
That was 90%.
We've got a college pick'em, just a fun thing in the office, and I am picking spreads, no good.
Oh, it's impossible.
I don't bet for a reason. And everybody that comes in the clinic gets a good laugh that I'm at the bottom of the college pick'em for our office. It's not good. So
Spreads make it a little bit more difficult,
it is,
too,
yeah.
though. More difficult. Going to start Week 9 in the non-conference. Irish Night is on the line on Cherry Street at Gallagher Stadium this week. St. Francis at Central Catholic. Irish have won 23 straight over the Knights. Central won 28-7 last year with 3 TDs in the final quarter. Also had 2 interceptions in that final quarter. Is this finally the year, Coach, that the Knights bring the Irish Night back to Bancroft?
As much as I like Josh Linke and what he's building there on Bancroft, the answer to that is no. Central Catholic continues their stranglehold.
Is it close?
No. Because Central is tired of hearing about...
And they lost a week ago.
Yeah.
St. Mary's Prep.
They're going to be a little grouchy. And plus, they're tired of hearing about how St. John's and St. Francis are closing the gap. I'm telling you, the Irish roll.
Central is 10th right now in Region 10, so they need a win here.
They do.
St. Francis 7th in Division 2, Region 6. As much as I like those St. Francis guys that were here back in August at our kickoff show and said this was going to be the year, it's not. Irish continue their stranglehold. Because these kids weren't even born the last time the Irish Night was at St. Francis High School.
No.
So give me the Knights. I'm sorry, the Irish.
I went with Central Catholic as well. This is stretching my radius. I should preface to the viewers, I told you, I'm tunnel vision in 5th and 6th grade football right now. So I did have to do a little bit of prep work here and a little study. So every time you guys pick one and I've got the same, I'll just kind of put a feather in my cap here. But starting off all right.
Well, Ryan Crandall told me that you were cramming today.
I was prepping, yep.
Yep, that's good.
What is the margin of victory for Central Catholic in your mind this week, Coach Strock?
35-7.
35-7. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. 28-7 a year ago.
Yep.
Pulled away late in that one.
Yep.
I think it may be close for a half.
Okay.
I think St. Francis plays with some emotion in the first half and keeps it close, but I don't think it stays that way.
No, I think, Central Catholic has some open wounds, some chinks in their armor. I think they're going to try to get that taste out of their mouth this week.
Also non-conference this week, Fremont, Indiana is going to Toledo Christian. The Eagles have won 5 straight. They're 11th in Region 26 at 5-3 right now. And I like TC to pick up another win. I think they keep it rolling with Coach Skeels and crew.
Okay, I'm going to go against you here.
You are.
I am, and this is a pure guess. This is a pure guess. But I spent some time the last couple summers in Fremont, Indiana, doing my summer job in my post-coaching years. And I like Fremont, Indiana. Some good folks there, some blue-collar folks. I got to believe some of those factory guys, their kids play for Fremont, Indiana. They're going to get it done. Give me Fremont.
See where Kevin McCann, if he's Team Strock or Team Groll.
I would say Ohio football is better than Indiana football. I went with, I had the same notes, won the past 5. Give me Toledo Christian.
Good pick, Kevin. Good pick. Also in the non-conference this week, Woodward is at Springfield. Springfield is 19th in Region 6. Have a lot of ground to make up if they have any aspirations of getting into the playoffs. Woodward is 1-7, 21st in Region 10. Give me the Blue Devils.
No doubt. Give me Springfield.
Yep, I'm with you guys, Springfield all the way.
North Baltimore, they're going to go into the non-conference this week. They are at Crestline. The Tigers wrapped up the NWCC title outright last week, first since winning the Midland all the way back in 1995. North Baltimore averaging 272.9 yards passing per game, 225 rushing, so they're putting up a ton of yards, also putting up a ton of points, 48.1 points per game. Now, their strength of schedule is 103 according to Fantastic 50 and 104 by our good friend Braden Martin at Martin RPI, but North Baltimore is going to get to 9-0 regardless of that schedule.
Yeah, I mean, they're flying high. They've got way too much offense. I think if you're Crestline, the best you can hope for is some poor weather, and I just pulled up the forecast here, and I don't think they're going to get it. Saturday, it looks like possibly.
Yeah, some rain and Sunday, but Friday, no. Good weather there.
Fighting Tigers roll.
Yep, I like North Baltimore as well in that one.
Midwest Athletic Conference action this week. St. Henry, the only team with one conference loss behind Marion Local as we have 2 weeks left here in the regular season. Fort Recovery is at Anna. The Indians 5-3, 3-3 in the MAC, 10th in Region 28. Anna is 5-3, 3-3 in the MAC, 11th in Region 24. Fort Recovery's Reese Wendell needs 117 yards rushing for 1,000 on the season. He is second in tackles with 73 behind 82 from Brody Hart for Fort Recovery. And quarterback Logan Ziegenbusch, 103-162 passing, 1 yard away from 1,300 on the season, 16 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. He also has 673 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. Nolan Wilt has 6 sacks for Anna, and Julian Stearns has 5. Are the Rockets still stinging from that loss a week ago to Marion Local?
Kevin, you've got to be, I'm just going to warn you, and you probably already know this, you got to be super careful in this conference because a lot of times who you think is the favorite doesn't end up winning. It's hard to pick.
I'll tell you, in the MAC this year, well, it has been topsy-turvy. Probably, Marion Local, a couple scares, right? And, I listened to you guys' podcast with Coach Beckman, and, he very high on St. Henry, and it's been just an up-and-down season for a lot of these teams. So, yeah, I'm walking on eggshells here. I'm questioning some of my picks, but, yeah, we'll see.
Well, you can flip a coin pretty much on some of these MAC games, and you have a chance.
I believe that.
I will start things off here. I'm going with the Anna Rockets at home. I think their body of work's pretty impressive, even with the 3 blemishes. Give me Anna.
Go ahead, Kevin.
When in doubt, I'm taking the home team on these, so I've got Anna as well.
Okay. I'm going to take Anna in that matchup, too. Versailles, they're stinging a little bit, 4-4, 2-4 in the MAC, 11th in Region 20. They go to Coldwater, who's 5-3, 4-2 in the conference, 5th in Region 24. Tigers have lost 3 straight, 2019 to Marion Local, 35-7 at Anna, and 14-12 versus Minster. Their other loss this season was 26-25 to New Bremen, and they play St. Henry next week. Coldwater has won 19 straight against Versailles. Cavs have been held to 7 points in each of their 3 losses to Clinton Massey, Anna, and New Bremen. Coldwater averages 323 yards per game and allows 254. Coldwater quarterback Carson Homan, 605 yards rushing, 1,158 through the air. He's combining for 17 touchdowns. Caden Obringer leads Coldwater's defense, 74 tackles, while Derek Drews has 64 stops, 9 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. Chip Otten's not going to lose this one. Give me Coldwater.
How about his stats and information he provides each week?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, I have a lot of help from people that put these conference stats together.
my mind is, if I was cramming earlier, this is overload. Like we were saying.
There's times when he's going over some of that stuff, I'm like, I don't want to know that. I already have my bet.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
You know, but I agree, and I'm telling you, Versailles, 2 teams that have stung me, Kevin, Minster and Versailles. Anytime I pick against them, they win, and vice versa. But I agree with Lynn. Chip Otten at home, Coldwater, they get it done. I like Coldwater.
I like the home team. I like Max Staples, and I'm going to go with Coldwater as well.
Yeah, Coldwater has Marion local next week on the road, which should be a big matchup down there in MAC country. Speaking of Marion local, 8-0, 6-0 in the MAC, first in Region 28. They're at Minster, who's 5-3, 3-3 in the conference, 8th in Region 28. Marion local's winning streak is now at 72 after squeaking by Anna last week. Marion local is 42-15 against Minster in the playoff era. They won 21-0 and 21-7 last year. Remember those 2 games that were the closest that Marion local had all season. Minster last beat Marion local back in 2019. Flyers have outscored foes 330-74 overall and 121-13 in the second half this season. Marion local's opponents have gained 639 yards passing. Jacob Muhlenkamp has 5 sacks and Oliver Hulsman has 4, while Braden Mesher has 5 picks for the Flyers. Marion local quarterback Brennan Hess, 81 of 117 passing, over 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. Mesher has 33 catches, 519 yards, and 6 TDs, while Cale Nagel has 539 yards and 8 receiving scores. Ben Meyer leads the rushing attack for Marion local, 478 yards. Camden Eifert has 462 and 10 TDs. Minster averages 245.8 yards per game and is allowing 275.8. Dominic Meyer leads Minster with 604 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns, and Chase Bishop leads Minster in sacks with 4.5 so far this season. Any chance for Minster in this one against the Flyers to end that long winning streak?
I'm going to say yes, there's a chance. Here's why. Marion locals had their backs against the wall 3 different times. Fantastic 50 likes Marion local this week by 25, okay? But they liked Marion local against Anna by 24. Last week. You can throw Fantastic 50 out the window when it comes to the MAC. Marion local gets everybody's best shot, and I have no reason to believe that Minster at home is not going to give Marion local everything they want and have a chance in the second half. I really believe that, but I'm going with Marion local because how can't you? Minster has a shot, though.
Okay. Go ahead, Kevin.
I would say smart money on Marion local, and I'm not here to rock the boat too much, so I'm sticking with the Flyers.
Smart man. I'm gonna go with the Flyers to get win number 73 in a row. A couple teams that are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs: Parkway and Delphos St. John's, both winless this season. Is this a coin toss game, or is there a favorite in your mind?
It's a coin toss game, and I was leaning about 80% Parkway here, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. The game's at Stadium Park in Delphos, and that's the only reason I'm going with the Blue Jays, but I think it's close. There's games you look at kind of common opponents, and you look and say, you know what, Parkway's scored more points on a few occasions than St. John's. I just can't pull the trigger, though. I'm going with St. John's.
Go ahead, Kevin.
My natural intuition from my junior high days of being thumped, watching the varsity of Tinora being thumped by Delphos St. John's, made me pick Delphos St. John's. But then, Coach, I looked at the scoring, and Parkway has been putting up a little bit more points. It just seems like that Delphos offense has struggled the last few weeks. So I highlighted Delphos and then switched to Parkway, so that's where I'm landing. I'm gonna go with Parkway on this one.
You're on my team again. I'm going to go with Parkway as well and pick up another game. That'll get me to 3.5, I think, now.
Yeah.
Inching towards to maybe make a big comeback week 10.
So you had Toledo Christian, right?
Yep.
And then this game here. So
I got
some
Parkway. There's
dissension.
2 already.
Yeah.
I got to make up some ground here. This is the last week to really make up some ground. I probably have to get it within 2.5, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely do not hate the Parkway pick. They could get it done.
Also in the MAC this week, New Bremen 6-2, 4-2, 7th in Region 28. They're at St. Henry, who is 7-1, 5-1, 3rd in Region 28. These 2 teams played twice last year. St. Henry won 21-14 and then 13-10 in the first round of the playoffs. The Redskins also won 13-10 in 2023. New Bremen snapped a 23-game losing streak to Coldwater, as we just mentioned a little bit ago. St. Henry has given up only 27 points since that 21-14 loss to Marion Local. That was 5 games ago. St. Henry's Charlie Whirling needs 18 yards for 1,000 this season. He has 18 rushing touchdowns already. And then Anderson Kramer is a big-time defender for the Redskins. 67 tackles for the St. Henry defense, which has 38 tackles for loss so far this season. But this is a good game.
Yeah, it's a lot of TFLs, man. 38 of them?
38.
Jeez. I'm going with St. Henry at home. A lot of respect for New Bremen, but St. Henry wins it.
Home team, I like the home team in this one. Obviously, yeah, if you were going to local games, this would probably be a pretty darn good one for a Friday night, but yeah, I'll take St. Henry at home as well.
Go with you guys and take the Redskins in that one as well. Northwest Conference, a big one there this week. Columbus Grove, winners of 5 in a row. They're 5-0 in the NWC. They're playing at LCC at Lima Spartan Stadium on Friday night. The Thunderbirds 5-0, first in Region 26. Columbus Grove, their playoff chances in a little bit of jeopardy right now. 15th in Region 22, but they're going to have 2 big games here the last couple weeks as they have Bluffton coming to town next week. Grove has allowed 7 points during their 5-game winning streak. They posted 4 shutouts during that stretch. Series between these two tied 9-9. LCC is 5-3 against Grove at Lima Stadium. Grove has won 24 straight NWC games. Bulldogs won 28-20 in the regular season. Remember, that was tight a year ago, and then they rematched in the playoffs, and it was all Bulldogs 38-6 in the regional quarterfinal. Grove quarterback Landon Best, 91 of 148. 1,359 yards, 20 touchdowns. Trevin Baxter, 34 catches, 538 yards, 7 TDs. Gavin Barraza, 30 catches, 358 yards, 4 touchdowns. Those are the top targets for the veteran Grove QB. LCC has outscored its foes 250-93, and Grove has a 258-96 edge on its opponents so far this season. LCC quarterback Brady Parker, 75 of 115, 1,189 yards, 11 touchdowns, while he's also rushed for 708 yards and 8 touchdowns on 88 keepers. Grove has allowed 1,639 yards. LCC has allowed 1,732. Grove has allowed only 626 yards in their 5 NWC games and only 268 rushing. Keep in mind they played Braxton Leith, who's one of the top rushers in all the nation this season. LCC averages 218.2 yards rushing per game in conference play, and Grove has not committed a turnover the last 5 weeks.
Are we picking this or no?
He's doing it again. He's doing it, making me question the pick there.
This could be our broadcast. We're waiting to make sure we have some room in the press box, but we're going to pick it anyway because we don't know yet. We're going to pick all the games this week because we don't know where we're going quite yet.
Okay. You know, here's the thing, and it is what it is. I understand the Harbin point system. Columbus Grove sitting at 15, Lima Central Catholic sitting at 1 in Division 7, Region 26. On paper, Columbus Grove would be favored over 12 or 13 teams ahead of them. And as a result, or they're on the outside looking in, and they would probably beat 13 teams ahead of them. And if they don't get it done Friday, they're in jeopardy of not making the tournament. And the heck of it is, they're one of the best teams in this region, one of the top 3 teams in this region. I don't like that because they challenged themselves early on. Now they're in this position. But even though they're on the road, LCC's formidable. They're good, but Columbus Grove has the mojo right now, man. I'm going with Columbus Grove to get the win in Lima.
Go ahead, Mr. McCann.
I had LCC picked, and you've made me question everything from the beginning. I would love to see Columbus Grove win. I'll stick with my pick, LCC. It seems like it'd be tough to go down and play a team in Lima. But I'd probably, if you had my honest opinion, I'd be rooting for Columbus Grove. So
This is a tough pick for me because I think it can go either way, but I'm picking Grove.
Are you?
This week.
I think it's the right thing to do.
But I could pick up another game on you, but I'm going to stick with Grove.
Or you could lose another game on me.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to stick with Grove. I think they have something going on right now. I think another one of those late season pushes that Coach Schaefer and that. I don't know what they have down there. They have some magic formula late in the season where they really get it going. Is it coaching? What is it in your mind, Coach?
It is the perfect blend of kids who are impressionable from families that want their kids to be challenged, and then you sprinkle in that coaching. It's the perfect storm there at Columbus
They have
Grove.
a little PTSD
small
from
town.
that. Yeah.
Yep, I was professing the Putnam County, and here I am, the lone guy picking against Putnam County. My mother-in-law is from Columbus Grove, but yeah, I'll stick with my pick.
Yeah, because I saw him against Liberty Benton.
Oh.
It's hard to get out of my mind.
I know.
And this LCC team is good.
LCC is good, but I think of like Trevin Baxter, Brady Basinger. These Columbus Grove guys, Kevin, are
Tough, big,
bad
strong.
dudes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they will hit you hard. Barraza, the younger
Gavin Barraza.
Gavin. Those kids are winners, man, and they remember what it was like playing with last year's seniors. I think it's rubbed off on them.
That element when you come out and really hit somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, if a team hasn't been smacked, I
Yep.
mean, that's always, I think you talk about the character. Columbus Grove strikes me as a type of team that these young men have a little nasty in them, and when you know you can go out and inflict your little punishment, that only makes you a little bit stronger. So it'd be, I would guess the beginning of that game would tell a lot. If Columbus Grove comes out and really starts hitting, then yeah, it could probably a tight game, go either way.
Absolutely, yeah. Grove has got it rolling here late in the season. We'll see if they can continue maybe their toughest two-game stretch possibly of the season here in the last 2 weeks. I know you can say the Patrick Henry and Liberty Benton weeks there in the non-conference were tough as well, but this one's going to test them as well with Bluffton coming to Clymer Stadium as well. We're going to take a break, come back and talk about the NWL slate coming up this week.
Who says a college degree is the only path to a fulfilling career? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods with or without a degree. Gherkin provides a generous benefits package, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. We're looking for rock-solid performers to help build and reinforce the region's infrastructure. Whether you have construction experience or are just starting your career, apply now at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
Ashball Aerial is a fully licensed commercial drone company providing aerial media for commercial, industrial, and agricultural clients throughout Northwest Ohio. Want a different perspective for your events, construction projects, businesses, and more? Call 419-966-3202 or check them out at ashballaerial.com or look us up on Facebook. Trevor Ashball Aerial wanted me to mention he's now in the deer recovery business with his drone. He stopped at my house last week, and he will go out and help you track down a deer if you need him to. If you mention Black Swamp Football, he'll give you $25 off the price of your deer recovery. You can text or call Trevor at 419-966-3202. Info and pricing is on their Facebook page.
Very good.
So give him a call. It's hunting season right now as the archery folks are out there. If you need some help recovering a whitetail.
I have a drone story if we have a minute.
Yeah,
My
go ahead.
son got a drone for Christmas, and he begging me. Set my phone up, and the one time I flew that thing, it took off on me across the cornfield. So I didn't hit the emergency down in the cornfield, and then it got tangled up in the tallest tree of the woods west of me, and it's still there.
It's still there.
So I owe my 11-year-old son a drone.
You haven't got him one since last Christmas?
Well, no, it was this summer.
Oh, okay.
I'm certainly a few months.
Okay.
Couple months.
A little behind.
For days we were going, Dad, do you think the wind blew that drone down yet? Well, we'll go check. And
Still there.
Still there.
Wow.
Tall tree.
Huh.
It takes talent to run those drones. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it does.
I believe that.
Oh, it does.
I believe that.
Trevor's going to bring his out here for us some night during the podcast and let us
If he's tracking
fly
deer,
that thing around.
I'm here to tell you that's not something that I'd be getting into with my piloting career right now.
Yeah, you're off to a bad start.
Trevor's probably not going to let you fly his.
That's probably that.
His is a little more upscale. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's great stuff. But get a hold of Ashball Aerial, 419-966-3202 if you need some help there. NWOAL this week, going to start with Swanton at Patrick Henry. Swanton winless on the season, eliminated from playoff contention. Patrick Henry 11th right now in Region 22. PH has won their last 7 against the Bulldogs. Opponents have outscored PH 43-31 in the third quarter this season. Patriots have allowed 651 yards rushing on 231 attempts and just 760 passing yards this season. 69-133 are foes against the Patriots. Grant Smith, 8 sacks leading that PH defense, and Swanton has lost 35 straight.
Whew. Man. Yeah, this will be a good week for the Patriots. You know, they've got some bumps and bruises, and hopefully some of those guys can heal up a little bit. They'll name their score at home. If you're Swanton, you just hope to get a little bit better this week than you were a week ago. I like the Patriots.
Yep, Coach, I agree with that. Patrick Henry, they'll get it done. And weeks like this, you know, as a coaching staff, I'm sure you're saying don't overlook an opponent. But, yeah, hopefully guys get healthy down the stretch here, and Patrick Henry can keep on rolling.
I like Patrick Henry as well. I'm going to look up, see the playoff seeding probabilities for Patrick Henry as they set 11th this week, according to Fantastic 50. Their highest odds are the 8th seed, 43%, 34% as the 7 seed. So if they win as the 8 seed in that first round, they would get the top overall seed in that region, which right now is Margaretta. What do you think of Patrick Henry's chances in Region 22, Coach Strock?
Lynn, when you were talking a minute ago, you know, I said Columbus Grove, I think on paper, would be a favorite over a dozen teams ahead of them. Patrick Henry wouldn't be a prohibitive favorite against as many teams that are ahead of them right now, but I'd take him against 5 or 6 and wouldn't even think twice. Margaretta's solid. They only have that one loss. We saw how they fared against Archbold in a nail-biter, who's the number 1 team. I like Patrick Henry to have a chance to win this region. I truly do. I really do. And I think they could maybe get Archbold in a rematch if they had that opportunity. But I would pick Patrick Henry against everybody ahead of him right now, except maybe Archbold, because Archbold beat him head-to-head. And I don't say that lightly, because Paulding is super tough, but we've seen what Patrick Henry's done against Hopewell Loudon a couple times.
Yeah, they kind of had their number.
Yeah.
Bluffton is up there, a team that put it on PH pretty good in the regional final a year ago.
Yes, they did.
Cary is a team that's 5-3 up there. Margaretta has the highest odds for the number 1 seed at 83%. Hopewell Loudon, 74%. Archbold likely to be the 3 seed, 74%. These are all odds, courtesy of the good folks at Fantastic 50. Bluffton, 41% to be the 4 seed. The top 4 seeds get a bye. Paulding has a 37% chance as the 4 seed. Interesting to see how Region 22 shakes out this next couple weeks.
I agree. I think that for me, the X factor that I just cannot overlook is Patrick Henry's defense. I'm telling you. And Grant Smith's a big reason for that. Right. Nakevian Kreider and Trent Johnson and those guys, I like them.
Yeah, they're really good, and we think they're going to get the win this week against Swanton. Evergreen is at Delta. This is a big playoff game for both of these league teams. Evergreen sitting 12th in Region 22. Delta 13th in that very competitive Region 18 slate. Evergreen won 27-21 in double overtime last year and 15-12 in 2023. So the last 2 years are any indication, it'll be a tight one on Friday night at Delta.
Yeah, Evergreen 6-2. There's some playoff points to be had there, with those 6 wins. But don't let Delta's 4-4 record fool you. They're not at Liberty Center and those guys' level yet, but they're going to be too much for Evergreen at home. I think the Panthers run wild on Friday night. I like Delta.
I picked Delta too. It seems like they have that toughness element we've kind of been talking about throughout this, and that's, I think, the reason I took them at home.
Yeah, I like Delta in that running game to pick up the victory at home. Archbold, they are at Bryan. The Streaks first right now in Region 22, and they've clinched a top 8 seed as of now. Bryan 2-6, 1-4 in the NWAL, 21st in Region 14. The Streaks have won their last 6 against Bryan going into this one, but I like Archbold to continue to roll and set up a big league clash with Liberty Center at home a week from now.
I would agree, and the goal for Archbold is take care of business, get out of there healthy, and they won't overlook the Bears. Coach Dominic won't let that happen because it's still Archbold-Bryan. That's a traditional rivalry, but Archbold gets it done, and then gear up for Liberty Center.
Yeah, Archbold strikes me as a team that's getting better and better. Watch them, what did we say, week 3 against Tinora. And kind of both sides were a little bit sloppy in that game, but you could definitely see the athletes on the field for Archbold. So they'll definitely get it done this week, and that'll be an exciting matchup next week.
Going to take another break, come back and talk about the Wauseon at Liberty Center game just down the road from here on Friday night. KK Collision is a leader in the auto repair industry that has been servicing Northwest Ohio's auto needs for over 27 years. We offer a fast and reliable repair option that stands above the competition. When your vehicle enters our facility, you can be assured that you have chosen the most technologically advanced repair facility in the area. KK Collision is an automotive body and mechanical shop, as well as both a light and heavy-duty towing service located in Liberty Center. Our towing services cover Northwest Ohio and the surrounding area 24 hours a day. Are you in need of a repair estimate? Visit us anytime during business hours for a free estimate at T556 Ohio 109 on the north side of Liberty Center, or call 888-533-7801 or visit our website at kkcollision.com. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store off Route 24 on State Route 109 just south of Liberty Center now has 88 unleaded fuel and is your one-stop shop for fuel, food, drinks, and much, much more, including locally raised meats and home-baked goods. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store is proud to support Black Swamp Football and is the host of the Black Swamp Football podcast, football show, and Saturday mornings Rise and Rewind. Stop in and see Glenn and Greg today and make American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store a part of your everyday routine. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies and one of our gracious hosts, the American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store here for our podcast, football show, and our Saturday morning Rise and Rewind. Have another food truck coming here on Friday night as Wauseon is in town. Millie's Wings was here last Friday. Kevin, have you ever had Millie's Wings down in Ottoville?
I have not, but I hear about Millie's Wing. One of our coworkers lives in Ottoville. Sam Binding is down there, a familiar name, down in the Ottoville area. So
you need to make the trip, my man.
I have been told multiple times, actually. Can they fit? Could they fit my family comfortably in?
Millie's
there?
Oh, yeah. There's a couple large tables in there.
Right.
Yeah.
McCann's come to a restaurant, you know it.
Yeah. I love it. What's the food truck coming this Friday night, Coach Strock?
Yeah, interesting name, Wanna Maker Loaded. Wanna Maker Loaded. And I just pulled their menu up for those. Now, this is a little too exotic for me, but people love this stuff, okay? But they have a ton of bowls. Buffalo chicken bowl, boom boom bowl, chicken shawarma bowl, Hawaiian bowl, volcano bowl, a lot of bowls. And then obviously the wraps, chicken buffalo wrap, Hawaiian grilled chicken Euro wrap, chicken Caesar. If you're into this, and tons of salads, I don't know if they'll have a limited menu here, but if you're into this type of stuff, they look legit.
Would you go with a wrap or a bowl, Coach Strock? If it was your dying day, you were starving, and you had a wrap or a bowl to go with, what would you go with?
I would go with a bowl if I could just have meat and cheese.
Just meat and cheese.
Just meat and cheese. I'm not a single vegetable would touch my bowl. Meat and cheese. If they say, well, we can't do that, then I'm going starving. I'm starving.
What do you think of this guy?
Meat and potatoes.
That's right.
I can't argue with a meat
right.
and potatoes diet. I mean, that's how I was raised, but I'll dabble. I'll dabble with some rice, some vegetables.
Would you?
Yeah. Crandall blames or accuses me all the time of thinking ketchup is spicy. So I'm not, I come by a modest palate by nature, but
Okay.
I'll branch out a little bit.
All right. Well, before you leave American Freedom Energy Grandma's General Store tonight, Kevin, make sure you stop out to their freezer. If you like brats,
Okay.
they have some Pettysville
Be
meats.
a little bit of a
Sattler
bratwurst connoisseur. Had Sattler's meats at our church get-together this past weekend. Very good brats. So yeah,
You like them flavored or just original
No,
brats?
no. Very simple, salt and pepper. I'm very
Good man,
simple
Kevin.
on the brat.
I'm a little worried about you.
No
You know kraut?
No mustard. Simple brat.
Good man, Kevin.
Salt, pepper.
Doggone it. That's good. The thing I did notice, I want to make sure Kevin knows this. I checked the freezer out, when I got here. They got some Sonnenberg beef, some Delmonico ribeyes, some beef patties, hamburger patties restocked, but holy cow, the brats were picked over, man. We do, Kevin, the problem is we promote it so much, people come in here and clean it out, and then there's none left for us.
Well, we have another problem because one of our guests from a few weeks ago, Coach Dick Cromwell, the Hall of Famer from St. Francis, who won a couple state titles, he has got the hankering for the cooler out here. And he sent us a text, was it last night?
Last night.
That he had some Delmonicos on the grill.
Yes.
That he got from here, I believe.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, so he was enjoying himself.
What do you throw on the grill? You're getting ready to watch a Saturday football game. What do you like on the grill, Kevin?
Well, I grew up on a hog farm, so I'm partial to. But I mean, brats are up my alley. I mean, we're talking right there. But my dad usually raises a few beef, so my kids are just obnoxiously spoiled. If we go to a restaurant, they think they can just get steak. I mean, across the board, that's not good. Not good for the
Especially at a young age.
Oh man, yeah, all of them want steak. So I fluff my ego just a little bit. We usually go to a restaurant and they tell me they'd prefer steak on the grill from me. So
Okay.
There you go.
Yep, I'm a Traeger guy, so I'll put a steak on a Traeger and then sear it just a little bit. Those usually turn out pretty good. So
Nice.
That's good.
Any seasoning? Any seasoning?
hamburgers,
Just salt and pepper.
keep it simple. Maybe a little bit of a steak rub, but salt and pepper. You can't go wrong.
Oh, man. You two are worrying me.
I like it,
You gotta
Kevin.
broaden your horizons. I've been on him for years.
Well, if you go to a restaurant and you know that they have, if you go to a steak restaurant, don't get pasta.
Well,
Get the steak. I mean, keep it simple. Stay with something.
But you
know.
need a good rub on there, more than just salt and pepper.
No, I don't.
It's nice, Kevin, to be sitting here as a bystander.
I thought he was the only person in the world that had that thought process.
No steak sauce either. If you can't make a
Good
good
man.
steak
No, I agree
Good
with
man.
that. I agree with
that you
that.
can just eat.
All right.
Good man.
All right. Yeah, good stuff there.
Good.
Wauseon at Liberty Center this week. LC has clinched a top 8 seed. They are first in Region 18 right now. LC has won 32 straight NWL games. Any chance for the Indians to come in here and make this competitive?
The easy answer is no. Okay, but Wauseon, man, they've got pride. They're coming off a win. I think they can maybe hold their own for a quarter and a half. Now from there, I'm not responsible for what happens, but I think they're going to come in inspired. At least I hope they do. But I like Liberty Center.
Yeah, I got Liberty Center too.
Liberty Center. Yep.
Yeah. Move it to the NBC this week. Going to start with Lake at Eastwood. Lake is 18th in Region 18. This could really boost their playoff resume. Eastwood 6-2, 4-1 in the conference, 9th right now in Region 18, and you want to stay out of that 8-9 range because you're probably going to get Liberty Center first week of the playoffs if you're in that range, and I don't think you want to see Liberty Center here at Rex Lindgren Stadium.
Safe to say, Lynn, I don't think you want to. Eastwood's done it once.
Eastwood's been here, yeah.
They've been here. I don't think they want to do it again if they can help it. And they could help their cause by getting a win this week. I like Eastwood at home. They're licking their wounds a little bit after a tough loss to Genoa, but Sam Cotterman will get them refocused and they'll win this game.
Yep, if Jumbo's listening to this, I'm putting my money on him as well. Eastwood at home, I like him.
Yeah, I like Eastwood to bounce back this week. Talking about Region 18 and Fantastic 50, their seeding probabilities. Liberty Center is a 96% chance to be the top seed. Worcester Triway, 79% chance to be the 2 seed. Genoa, looking like they will be the 3 seed, 81% chance. Liberty Benton, their odds are 73% as the 4 seed there. Speaking of Eastwood, they have a 38% chance to be the 6 seed and a 26% chance to be the 7 seed there in that one, but I like them to pick up the win this week. Speaking of Genoa, 7-1, 5-0. Second right now in Region 18, clinched a playoff spot already. Genoa has won 7 straight since that opening loss to Archbold. The Comets' win would wrap up at least a share of their first NBC title since 2018. Genoa plays Lake next week, so they'll be a big favorite in that one as well, and I think they roll over the Red Men of Fostoria this week.
If Fostoria were to roll into Genoa and win this football game, that would be the upset of the century. Bill Fisher's not going to let that happen. Genoa's going to hold serve at home, and they're going to name their score in this one.
Yep, I agree, Genoa.
Also in the NBC, Rossford, 3-5, 1-4 in the NBC, 17th in Region 14 at Otsego, who's 3-5, 1-4 also in the conference. 14th in Region 18 are the Knights.
I like Otsego. I think Rossford they'll throw some punches, but Otsego's running game's going to wear them down as this one goes on. But I can see Rossford hanging around for a half.
This is a classic pick the home team. Otsego, the Rams did play Otsego earlier in the year. Otsego won that one, but yeah, I'll take Otsego as well.
I'm going to take the Knights as well in that matchup. Rounding out the NBC slate for us this week, Maumee 5-3, 4-1 in the conference. 11th in Region 10 is at Oak Harbor. 6-2, 3-2 are the Rockets. 10th in Region 18. Maumee has won 3 straight and 5 of 6. Caught a little fire here late in the season as Maumee. You think they continue it in this matchup at Oak Harbor, 2-time defending NBC champs?
This is one of the tougher picks of the week, I'm going to tell you right now. I could go either way on this. I think it's 50-50. 3 weeks ago, I'd have said no-brainer, Oak Harbor. But since the Rockets are at home, I like them to win a close one. But Maumee's going to be right there at the end. Oak Harbor's going to have to find a way. But I like Oak Harbor.
I got Oak Harbor as well.
I put a question mark beside this one, and your statistics, once again, I saw 5 of 6. I highlighted Maumee. I don't know why. Just
Maumee, huh?
Just taking a flyer. That's my upset pick, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
We had that game a year ago.
Yeah.
Oak Harbor was at Maumee.
Yeah, somewhat close for a half.
Yeah.
And then Oak Harbor really poured it on. This isn't the same Oak Harbor team, though.
No, it's not.
They don't have that same edge.
They don't, and Maumee's improved, I think, as the season's gone.
Yeah.
This is going to be a close game. You could be right.
I think they've gotten better.
I might have diverged from my Ryan Crandall advice there, too. I don't know, because we'll see.
Well, maybe we can get Ryan's picks and see how they compare.
We should. We'll stack them up there, yeah.
He's not a dummy.
No?
He's got an idea.
Yep.
Now, don't forget about your lead pipe lock, Kevin. You got it on there?
Pocket. It's in the
Okay.
back pocket.
All right. We're going to take another break, come back and talk about the Blanchard Valley Conference this week.
Who says a college degree is the only path to a fulfilling career? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods with or without a degree. Gherkin provides a generous benefits package, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a culture that rewards effort. We're looking for rock-solid performers to help build and reinforce the region's infrastructure. Whether you have construction experience or are just starting your career, apply now at gherkincompanies.com/careers.
The Swanton Welding Company proudly supports our local student athletes and coaches. We're committed to being your local steel fabrication company in Northwest Ohio and building projects across the country. For job opportunities at the Swanton Welding Company, visit www.swantonweld.com or visit them at 407 Zider Way in Swanton. Thank you to our good friend Norm Zider at the Swanton Welding Company for sponsoring partial of our podcast this season, and also the title sponsor of Rise and Rewind on Saturday mornings. What time we go on Saturday morning, Coach?
I'm good. The Beavers are at home with Mount St. Joe, so I can do 8 or 9. I'm good either way.
Want to do 8:30? Split the difference?
I actually like 8:30 because I'd like to have a little cushion. So let's go 8:30.
8:30. We're going to set that, not in concrete at this point on Monday evening, but I think it'll be 8:30 Saturday morning for Rise and Rewind.
Okay.
If that works for you.
I
Good
love
time
it.
for me. Mount St. Joe, that's a tough challenge for the Beavers.
Tough challenge. They're 4-1 through 5 games. Double overtime loss, or they'd be sitting at 5-0. They lost a tough one to Albion. And
How's Mount St. Joe doing this season?
they're about 3-2.
Okay.
3-2. Beavers rolled Saturday at Anderson. My goodness. It was 49-0 before you could even.
Wow.
Yeah, they were.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. Mount St. Joe will be tough. They get all that Cincinnati area talent, you know.
Sure do.
It'll be a handful.
Yeah. Speaking of a team that could roll and has been rolling all season, Liberty Benton is at Arcadia. The Eagles 8-0, 6-0, fourth in Region 18, clinched a playoff spot. LB is in the midst of 21 straight BVC victories. Eagles averaging 345 yards per game, and they allow just 111 per game. Arcadia is averaging only 229 yards and allowing 302. LB quarterback Connor Barbara, 76% of his passes have been completed, 1,427 yards, 22 touchdowns. Running back Zach Elkert nets 8.1 yards per tote, 464 yards, 11 touchdowns. Twin brother Seth, who's headed to the University of Toledo as a receiver, 42 catches, 829 yards, 15 touchdowns. And the detonator, C.J. Barbara, 23 tackles for loss for C.J. this season and 46 tackles overall. How many yards does Arcadia get this week against LB, Coach? They average 229.
With the ones before the subs come in the game, they'll be under 100. I'll be surprised because they'll probably have negative rushing yards. I'll be surprised if they have 50 plus against LB's ones. I mean, this matchup gives me the willies, man. Seriously. It's going to be a tall order to move that ball at all for Arcadia in this game.
Yeah, I agree. Going to be a long night for Arcadia at home. Liberty Benton's going to roll and get ready for a run in the Region 18 playoffs.
Yep, Liberty Benton. Is next year Liberty Benton
They
on
move to the
move?
NLL, yes. Go to the NLL. Cardinal Division next year.
Anybody sad in the BVC this
Oh,
year?
no.
I don't think so. Not after this year.
No. And in just almost every sport, they've just dominated.
That'll be good, though. I mean,
It'll be good.
Napoleon's got to be happy settling into the NLL with the divisions. I
Yep.
mean, I've talked to Ryan quite a bit about that. That seems like a good thing for the NLL, having the separation there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think Liberty Benton has some guys that could play at the University of Findlay just down the road from what we've witnessed this season.
Yeah, they're good.
And Seth Elkert going to Toledo as a Division I athlete, also in the BBC this week. Van Buren 5-3, 4-2 in the conference, 13th in Region 22. Elmwood, coming off their first win of the season, is now 1-7. The Royals have been eliminated from playoff competition, but can Elmwood make it 2 in a row?
The answer is no. They cannot. But they got a little confidence after picking up a win last week, and they'll give it the old varsity try, but I like Van Buren to roll in this game.
I do too.
I like Van Buren as well, yep.
Pandora Gilboa, 6th right now in Region 26. They are at Ada. Ada is 13th in Region 26, a matchup of regional foes here in this one. But I like the Rockets on the road to pick up the victory.
I do too. If they don't play clean, if they get some penalties and turnovers and that, Ada's going to be able to hang in there with them, but Pandora Gilboa just has too much firepower. Give me the Rockets.
I took Pandora Gilboa as well.
Rounding out the BBC slate for us this week, Arlington is at Lipsick. Lipsick right now is 4th in Region 26, coming off of that shellacking they took from Liberty Benton a week ago. To the Vikings bounce back against Arlington, who's usually a pretty physical program. This one closer maybe than some of the experts think.
You know, I was leaning Arlington. But since Lipsick's at home, I'm going to go with the Vikings at home, but I've kind of liked this Arlington team this year, but the Vikings win a close one. This one's going to come down to the final quarter, I think.
I was curious about Lipsick's mindset as well, but Arlington pretty well got beat about the same by Liberty Benton too. So I think they're probably recalibrating and telling them everybody, all the guys on that team, everything's in front of you. So I like Lipsick at home.
Should I pick one up? Nah, I'm not going to do it. Nope. I'm going to stick with the Vikes.
It'd be a good one to roll the dice on because it's possible.
It is possible. It is possible. I like Arlington's style of play. Cavaney there in the backfield for them, a really good running back. But I'm going to stick with Lipsy. I think they bounce back from that loss a week ago from LB. Catholic High School League Central Division, St. John's Jesuit 4-4, 1-3 in the division. They're 10th right now in Region 6 at Warren De La Salle, who is 2-5, 0-3 in the division. St. John's has suffered back-to-back losses by a combined 100-14. Now, these are some pretty good programs, Central Catholic and Detroit Catholic Central, who is regarded as maybe the top team up in the Wolverine State this season, but another road test for St. John's. But I think Joe Horn and crew get back on track. I think they pick up the win at De La Salle.
Yeah, I've got St. John's as well, but I don't think it's going to be pretty. They're going to find a way to get it done on the road, but I won't be surprised through three quarters if De La Salle's within striking distance.
It's like a 14-10, 17-10, 17-13 game.
It's got that feel to it. I agree with you, Lynn, but I think Coach Horn and company find a way.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a selection I had zero comfort in making, but I'm happy to say I picked the same as you guys. So let's go St. John.
That may not be a good thing. Northern Lakes League Buckeye Division, Northview 1-7, eliminated from playoff contention, 0-3 so far in the Buckeye Division. They're at Findlay, who is 5-3, 1-2 in the Buckeye Division. Third right now in Region 2 are the Trojans.
And Donnell Stadium's not going to be a good place for Northview Friday night, man. Findlay's going to roll. I'm impressed with what Findlay's done this season, and they get it done again. A place you know well, Kevin, Donnell Stadium.
Give me the friendly confines of Donnell Stadium. I'll take Findlay. I'm
going to go with Findlay in that matchup. Whitmer 7-1, 3-0 in the Buckeye Division. Fourth in Region 1, they're at Clay, who is 4-4, 1-2 in the division. 14th in Region 6. Whitmer has won 17 straight against Clay. Whitmer is averaging 248 yards rushing per game while throwing for 179 per game. They average 37.6 points per game. Have that nice two-headed monster there in the backfield, Joey Morales, 9.4 yards per tote, 707 yards, 9 touchdowns. And then Jamon Holmes, 658 yards, and he's been the touchdown guy, 14 of them on the season. They're also having a big year in the air with Carter Bourne completing 74% of his passes, over 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Whitmer defense, 24 sacks. They've only allowed 1 on the offensive side, has Whitmer. Zach Aubrey has 6 sacks. Joe Searcy and Jameel Lyons have 3 each. And Dom Arntz, 5 interceptions, leads Whitmer. But I like Whitmer to pick up another victory at Clay this week.
Yep, I too like Whitmer on the road. Clay got that big one 2 weeks ago against AW. Back to reality this past week, and I like Whitmer in this game.
Yep, I'll take Whitmer as well.
Big battle between Anthony Wayne and Perrysburg this week. Anthony Wayne 5-3, 1-2 in the division, 6th in Region 6. Perrysburg 7-1, 3-0 in the Buckeye, 5th in Region 1. Perrysburg leads the series 27-26 in the playoff era. Anthony Wayne has won the last two meetings, 31-14 and 35-10. The Jackets have won 6 straight since their only loss of the season to 7-1 Olentangy. Does your good friend Andy Brungard camp out at Schouler Stadium on Friday night with another victory over Perrysburg, or is Dirk Connor going to turn the tide this season?
You know, about the last, you can, however many years they've played prior to this year, Andy Brungard's played Dirk Connor, you can flip a coin. And a lot of years, the team that I think's going to win doesn't win. When I pick against AW in that game, I get burned. But this year's about as certain as I've ever been in this matchup. Dirk Connor and Perrysburg get it done at home. No, Coach Brungard is not going to be camping out.
Be at his house on Friday night.
He'll be in his bed, nice and warm.
I like Perrysburg.
Do you?
Home team. Yep, I like Perrysburg.
Lead pipe lock, book it, Perrysburg.
I don't know if I should let you do that.
You think the spread's too big?
I think Perrysburg's a heavy favorite.
All right, I'll go to my B
It's
plan.
like 30-some.
It is not 30-some.
is.
You check the spread. It's got to be a possession.
27.
20. Oh, it's that much?
27, yeah. Yeah.
This is a rivalry game.
I
can't
know.
believe it's 27.
I know.
right,
I'm
fine.
gonna. You know what, Lynn? Because I am a cooperative guy. I'm gonna let you have it.
No. There's no. I don't want any drama with this.
But you let me have Wasion.
I was going to say that was last week.
But that was like 8 or 10.
Circling back to conversations here, guys.
That was 10.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know it was 27.
Yeah, that's a lot for a rivalry game.
Anthony Wayne's won the last 2 meetings.
Yeah,
Pick the spread.
that's what
I can pick the spread here. Let's go.
That's when it gets tough.
I'll go to my plan B.
No, you don't have to though.
No, I'm going to.
Okay.
I will, because I don't want anybody coming back.
All right.
Well, Perrysburg blew them out by 50. That was an easy pick.
Okay.
I don't want that.
Okay.
So I'll go to my plan B. I'll go through the rest of the games here and figure something out.
All right. We'll see if you allow mine.
After we taking our break, we'll come back and talk about the Cardinal Division in the Northern Lakes League this week.
High school seniors, uncertain that college is right for you? Concerned about the cost of higher education? At the Gherkin Companies, we offer rewarding livelihoods even without a degree. That's a good living straight out of high school with no tuition debt. Starting pay between recent college grads and those with high school diplomas is closer than you might think. So if you enjoy teamwork, working outdoors, and being part of something meaningful, consider your options at GherkinCompanies.com/careers.
Stop by the Sports Place at Wassee on Ace for all your back-to-school shoes and fall sports shoes. We have Under Armour shoes in stock for youth through adults. The Sports Place will keep you and your family in style without breaking your wallet. Also, the Sports Place at Wassee on Ace is your new headquarters for sporting goods in Northwest Ohio. Stop in to see our selection of equipment, practice apparel, Letterman's jackets, and much, much more. Plus, we offer custom-made t-shirts, embroidery, and other apparel in one convenient location. Visit us at 1495 North Shoup Avenue in Wassee. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Going to move it to the Northern Lakes League Cardinal Division this week. A big one there as Napoleon can wrap up the Cardinal Division title with a win at Fremont Ross. The Wildcats 6-2, 3-0 in the division. 4th right now in Region 14. The Little Giants 5-3, 2-0 in the Cardinal Division and 12th in Region 6. Fremont Ross leads the series 10-7 in the playoff era. Napoleon is allowing 11.6 points per game and just 234.4 yards per game. Wildcats are averaging 271 yards rushing per game, 6.6 yards per carry, behind Hayden Groll's 1,245 yards and 15 touchdowns, while George Eggers has 421 yards and 7 scores on just 59 attempts. And quarterback Kelby Parsons has chipped in 308 yards on 57 keepers on the defensive side. Lucas Gherkin, 6.5 sacks for the Wildcats. Max Swihart has 5, and Paul Saucer has 3 interceptions for Napoleon, but a big one in the NLL Cardinal Division.
Yeah, I think the thing that stands out, well, number one, Napoleon's returning to Don Paul Stadium for the second year in a row. With the NLL schedule, there's certain games you had to play where you did last year. That's not favorable. Tough place to play. Napoleon would have the same record as Fremont Ross with their schedule. I mean, Perrysburg, Whitmer, Findlay, Fremont Ross, holy smoke, and Napoleon has not faced that. With that said, I like Napoleon on the road. I think on paper this is a razor-thin margin, but Napoleon's ground game, they get it done. They could have, would have, should have won that game there last year. They got, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. They got hosed on a couple of calls that were just outrageous. I think they play a clean game Friday night and they get it done. Give me Napoleon.
Where do you think he teaches at?
What subject? What are we teaching over there at Napoleon?
I teach health education, Kevin.
Okay.
I teach principles of coaching, which is probably the most important class I teach, and personal fitness and wellness.
All right. Right up my alley. We could have some health conversations.
Yeah.
Quiz each other on anatomy, whatnot.
You guys go ahead. I'll be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Over a steak with salt and pepper.
Yes.
Yeah,
That'd be good. We've got something brewing there.
I've
Kevin.
got Napoleon as well. I've got Napoleon. It's gotta have it, right? Napoleon's gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
Yep.
I got Napoleon as well, and it's my lead pipe lock. Can this one be my lead pipe lock?
Yes, it can.
What's the margin they're saying here?
I think after Fremont Ross versus Springfield, Napoleon Springfield, I think the exact same identical scores, 48-14, both. Difference is Napoleon had that game locked up at halftime. Fremont Ross scored a bunch in the fourth quarter. But I think games like that are what skew the Fantastic 50. And it's Fantastic 50 has it a lot closer than I think it's actually going to be. They've got Napoleon by 3.
By 3. Okay.
I like Napoleon by 10 or more.
Okay. That's my lead pipe lock. I'll get Alex Gherkin off my back for the rest of the year since he made that lead pipe for us.
That's true. He did.
He did bring that in here on a Saturday morning, and hopefully I can make him happy with that pick this week. Bowling Green is at Southview. BG 23rd in Region 10, hanging on by a thread to playoff hopes. Southview has already been eliminated from playoff contention. But what do we make of this one? Two teams that don't have much to play for, a couple weeks left in the season.
I think it's one of the most difficult picks of the week. I truly do. And I was even asking kids today at school, because our kids at Napoleon have played against both schools. And they had mixed opinions. And they beat Southview a lot worse than they beat Bowling Green, and a lot of them still liked Southview. And Southview's the home team. How interested are they? How interested are they? They've got it. There's too much tradition in that program to just roll over and let Bowling Green come in and shove you around. Coach Hardy, I'm giving you one more chance. I like the Cougars at home.
I do too. I'm going to listen to your kids.
I was going to say, that was some home cooking, wasn't it? A little insider knowledge, but I think Southview as well. I thought a little tradition at Southview.
Yeah.
You got to go with that.
Yeah,
at home.
I thought maybe Kevin would bring us in one of his old helmets for our studio tonight.
Hey. It's a little nicer than this one. I think we could do something.
Can you?
I should have.
You got something laying around?
I'll tell you what. The new helmets. But all through college, I was playing with the old Air helmet and some scrambled eggs up here. Those new helmets are sweet. Some of the new helmets
nice,
are
aren't
nice.
they?
Yeah. The Revolutions were coming out. I didn't like them. They always slid down.
Yeah.
Made my big nose even bigger when the helmet would come down and smash me. He said, give me that air helmet with the blue bladder in it. I
Yep.
wore that literally my entire football career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Did get a jersey courtesy of our good friend Keith Brown
That's
at
impressive, yeah.
Tinora Rams
Tinora
Live.
Rams.
Yeah. Did give us a jersey.
Yours probably weren't that nice when you played, though,
That
Kevin.
is nice.
That's nice, isn't
Yeah, we
it?
had the Rawlings for
Yes.
years and years.
Yeah.
Had to take that home and have my mom put a little elastic
Yeah.
to tighten her up, show
Yeah.
the high school biceps off.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I don't know that if I can deal with more Tinora gear in here, though, as an Ayersville product.
That's true.
That might be enough.
It's true. Well, I know the Liberty people got tired of looking at it because Sean Weimer brought us in that helmet. He said, I'm sick of looking at the Southview helmet and the Tinora stuff, so he brought us a Tigers helmet.
This is the best you could do for Liberty Center. Look at that chin strap. That is.
Hey, I did.
That might be reaching
They're a
back to
rugged
the
bunch.
80s.
They're a rugged bunch,
Are
Kevin.
they still wearing the air helmets over there? Blue
Yeah,
bladders
they got the Revo
Yeah,
speed flexes, with the thing on the front.
Yeah, yep. They've upgraded a little bit over the years. But if folks are out there listening, or you're a coach or player, and you got something you want to donate for our studio here, figure out where to put it. We're running out of space here a little bit. And
We'll figure it out.
our graphic designer, Julianne Schaefer, put a pumpkin together with our logo on it a couple weeks ago. Can't thank Jules enough for that.
Pretty impressive.
Can you draw that well, Kevin?
I think I saw it, but definitely not. I got a couple of daughters that seem to have a little hand in artwork, but not.
Okay.
I mean, no.
Okay. And if you want some Black Swamp football gear, I know there's been some people that have been asking, go to our website. You can get it on our swag page, and the sports place at Wassey on Ace can hook you up. All kinds of different apparel items, hats, whatever you need. They can probably do some mugs for you. If there's something that you want that is not on the website, just let us know, or let Jason 4-0 over at Wassey on Ace, the sports place, know, and they can get you hooked up with some Black Swamp gear, because I know a lot of people have been asking. They think we just have it laying around and we can give it to them, but we don't.
No.
It's not quite in the budget, folks. I'm sorry.
Hey, we could do a little hat swap or something. Maybe
Yeah, we
get
could
something
do that.
like going.
We could do that.
We can do
You guys
that.
in some DPT hats here.
Yeah, I like that.
We'd
I like
rep
that.
them. We'd rep them.
Absolutely would. Western Buckeye League. Now be careful, Kevin. This is another one that can get you.
Yes.
This is like the MAC. Going to start with Elida at Walpock. This one might be a little bit easier for you. Walpock 8-0. Overall 7-0 in the Western Buckeye League. Second right now in Region 10. Elida is 4-4, 3-4 in the WBL. 18th in Region 14. But the Redskins have won 24 straight Western Buckeye League games in a row. Does Elida have any chance in ending that streak this week?
The answer is no. And if anyone thought they did what Defiance did to them, Defiance just bludgeoned them, especially in the second half, running the ball. Kelton Gibbs, he's like over 250 yards. And Walpock's going to be a big problem at home for Elida. Give me the Skins.
I'll take Wapakoneta as well. Yep. Easy.
Yeah. Walpock's going to roll, especially if Elida plays defense like they did the final 24 minutes against Defiance, because Walpock has some big-time skill on the offensive side and also on the defensive side. Bath, 7-1, 6-1 in the WBL, third in Region 14. They're at Defiance this week, who got that nice win over Elida last week. The Bulldogs of Defiance, 4-4, 3-4 in the Western Buckeye League, hanging on to the final spot right now in Region 10 at 12th. Bath won 28-0 a year ago. Bath kicker Isaac Wells is 43 of 43 on PATs this season. The Wildcats have not won 9 games since 1999. And Zach Welsh, the quarterback, boy, he's special too.
He is. Defiance has a chance. Defiance has a chance. They got to be able to run the football, keep that high-powered Bath offense off the field. Play mistake-free, penalties, can't turn the ball over, all that stuff. If they do that, they're going to have a chance. If they don't do that, Bath's going to roll up some points. I like Bath, but I think this one's going to be closer than folks believe it will be. Defiance is they're going to play inspired. I'm telling you right now. And if you'd have told most people coming into this season, with what they graduated last year, that first-year coach Steve Rittenauer, week 9, would have them on the bubble of the playoffs, they'd have said you're crazy. And that's where they are. So there's something to play for there at D-Phi. I'm picking Bath, but Defiance is going to slug it out with them.
Yeah, I think if Bath comes in, looking forward to that home matchup against Walpock next week, which will essentially be for the piece of the WBL title, I think Defiance can hang around in there. Because Bath has had some trouble defensively this season. Can Kelton Gibbs and crew find enough rushing yards to hang in there? I think they have a chance, but can they slow down Bath? That's another question.
I tell you, I think Gibbs is a difference maker. Awesome that he got a awesome week last week. I mean, 5 touchdowns. I don't know. Did Defiance find their identity? Give him the rock and just try to control the ball? I will. I'll stick with the hometown crowd. I'm gonna give my nod to Defiance. It's a tall order conversation piece in the clinic today, but I will pick with my heart any day of the week. That's why I don't bet. I'll stick with the Bulldogs. Coach Ritt, awesome that he's getting his opportunity. Years and years of coaching, and I want to see them continue to roll. So.
You know what, Kevin? Here's what I'll say. We've had guest pickers that have made picks, and I'm kind of looking at Lynn going,
well, that was Coach Cromwell.
That was Coach Cromwell. He had some picks where I almost felt bad, like, we got to help this guy.
I did. I tried to help him on some of them, and he went, nope, I'm staying with it. You can't convince me.
No, and then you look at the scores Friday night, Saturday morning, you're like, oh, my God, you got that one? You got that one? But you could come out smelling like a rose on this, because if Defiance plays clean like they did a week ago, they're going to be there.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when they had 12 or 14 penalties in that one game.
Yep.
I'm going with the safe pick here. I like your courage, but I can't do it. I'm going to stick with Bath to set up that big clash with Walpock a week from this Friday night in Week 10. Here's one that's interesting. OG has last went winless in 1995. They're 2 games away from doing that at 0-8. They're at Salina, who is 2-6 and 2-5 in the WBL. Can Ken Schreiner and crew get win number 1?
Can they? Yes. I struggled with this pick.
I did too.
I struggled with it. I'm going with Salina at home, but I would not be surprised in the least if OG wins this game 21-20. I just wouldn't, but I'm going with Salina. Go ahead.
I will get booed by my Putnam County crowd again. I think OG has their mind on basketball by now, and I'm going to go with Salina at home.
Yeah,
fair point.
It's basketball season, boys.
I'm going to take Salina in that matchup as well. Here's another one that's going to be tough to pick, I think, for this crew. May have some differing opinions on this one. Van Wert at Shawnee. The Indians have lost 2 straight after winning 5 in a row, and Van Wert has won their last 6 against Shawnee.
One of the tougher picks, I agree. This one is my lead pipe lock.
Oh, let's see which way you're going to go.
I'm going with the Shawnee Indians, even though I really like Van Wert. I like Van Wert, and I like how they match up against Shawnee. But Shawnee, lead pipe lock. No way Van Wert goes into Shawnee and gets it done. Give me Shawnee.
I got Van Wert, buddy.
Ooh, baby.
Picking up another one. That's 3, I think.
I like it.
I got you in my sights for Week 10.
I like it. I was hoping you did. I went
with Shawnee. Home team. That was a coin flip.
Good man, Kevin.
So
good man.
Van Wert's offense is going to cook this week.
I'll tell you, they could cook, but Shawnee scores 1 more point than them. This is one that could come down to the final possession. I truly believe that. This could end up 45-44.
Well, Shawnee's going to have to score in the 40s because Van Wert is.
Yep. Let's go.
That's my prediction.
Let's go, buddy.
See what happens in that one. Rounding out the Western Buckeye League slate this week, St. Mary's is at Kenton. The Rough Riders have won 3 in a row. They like to run the ball, of course. Caleb Schmidt, over 1,300 yards and now 22 touchdowns on the season. Taylor Compton has 91 tackles to pace that St. Mary's defense. Kenton has not beaten St. Mary's since 2014. St. Mary's has scored 64, 59, and 55 points against Kenton over the past 3 seasons. They can't stop the run. Sorry, Rough Riders are going to roll again, unless Kenton's figured something out in the offseason, and I don't think they have.
No, it doesn't appear so. And Under no circumstance would I even lean towards Kenton here, even though they're at home. That ground game, that'll travel.
But Ken can score 50 on you.
Oh, they could.
But they could give up 70.
Yes, they could. I like St. Mary's.
I like
agree.
St. Mary's as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rough Riders in that one. Northern 8, there's a logjam atop the Northern 8 standings. St. Mary Central Catholic, St. Joseph Central Catholic, Danbury, and Chalker all one loss so far this season. I'm going to abstain from picking these games again this week. Sebring is at Stryker on Saturday.
Kevin, I'm terrible. I am horrible with these.
I think you lost another one last week because you picked Holgate over Concord, Michigan.
I know, because I stuck with Henry County.
Yep.
I am absolutely horrible with this. In this first one, I'm going with Sebring at Stryker.
Ooh. Well, for no particular reason, I went with Stryker. Hometown, I'm just throwing it out there. I had to do a lot of research diving into, I'm not going to lie, the Northern 8 has kind of not been on my forefront radar, so I was going through all the teams, acquainting myself. Man, there is a lot of ping-ponging around in this division, or this conference, isn't there?
It's hard to pick these.
Yeah.
Well, for me, not for him it wouldn't be, but he doesn't pick them.
Other Northern 8 game this week is Chalker at Holgate on Saturday night.
It's tough for me to go against Holgate, but I got burnt last week. I'm a little jaded by
stick
Holgate.
with the Tigers?
I'm jaded by them. Give me Chalker.
Chalker's 6-1.
Yeah.
Holgate, you'd love to see win, but I'll go with the record with Chalker.
Okay. Toledo Area Athletic Conference this week up in Williams County. Hilltop is at Eden. The Cadets are 3-5, 3-2 in the conference, 21st in Region 26. Eden is 9th in Region 26. This game is on Saturday, and Eden has won their last 7 against the Cadets, and I like the Bombers to pick up another one against their neighboring rival. And this one, give me the Bombers to pick up the win.
Yeah, old Coach Owen's going to crank that offense up. Kendall Briggle's going to have a dozen or more catches. Eden's going to roll at home.
I agree, 100%. Eden, yep.
North Central is at Montpelier this week. North Central 2-6, 1-4 in the TAC. 22nd in Region 26, hanging on by a sliver there as far as their playoff hopes go. Montpelier is 12th in Region 26. Still an outside chance at a TAC championship at 4-1, but I don't see anybody knocking off Whiteford here the last 2 weeks. Coach, Montpelier is 5-3 overall. Did you see what Whiteford did a week ago?
I did not see their
I think they
score.
put up like 70-some.
That's
Against Erie Mason. I don't know how many rushing yards they had, but it probably was in the 500s or something.
and it could have been more.
It may have been more. You may be
Could have been
you
if
may
they
be
wanted
right.
it to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, I like the Locos in this one.
Coach Robinson and the Locos at home. I love them there. 5-3, chance to be 6-3
Yeah.
going into Week 10. Give me Montpelier.
Averaging 191 yards passing, 128 rushing per game. Hayden Sharps, 103 of 155 passing, 1,494 yards, 15 touchdowns. Wes Hartsock is his top target, 36 grabs, 497 yards receiving, and then Griff Cooley averaging 7.4 yards per lug, 472 yards, and 7 touchdowns on the season. Going to go against this, or you're going to go with the Locos too, Kevin?
I was admiring the way you say Montpelier. We are Montpelier. He's Montpelier. But I'll stick with the Locos, however you want to say it.
Okay.
I don't want to make anybody mad up there. What's the technical Montpelier?
I don't know.
Looks
man.
like an E, doesn't it?
Montpelier.
Yeah, Montpelier.
Yep.
Yep.
The old Locos.
Yep. Erie Mason, winless on the season at Ottawa Hills, who is 2-6 and 1-4 in the TAC. 20th in Region 22 are the Green Bears. They have lost 4 straight. Eagles a week ago lost 84-0 to Whiteford. Not in the 70s. It was 84-0.
This well, we won't go down this rabbit hole. They've got a stable of running backs up at Whiteford,
I
Michigan.
heard you
Kevin.
guys talking about that.
Kevin McCann might have struggled to get some action in that backfield.
After that last podcast, I wanted to go look up a little footage of this.
I'm telling you, they're unbelievable. They're all a little bit different, but they're all just some taller, some shorter, thicker.
There is, a good mix. I would say I was always a little bit of a long strider. But yeah, you get a quick, little scat back that can pop one.
Right.
I mean,
They've got them all.
definitely.
He would be like Ruddy,
Yeah.
the tall, long strider.
Yeah,
Ruddy.
that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Green Bears? Or my pick at
Oh,
home
I'm
in the
sorry.
Village?
Oh, yeah.
You got to make your pick here. You got to make it
Ottawa
official.
Hills. Ottawa Hills.
Yeah, Ottawa Hills, they've taken their lumps this year, but Erie Mason, they're limping into the Village. Give me Ottawa Hills.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. 84-0.
Oh. Something tells me.
And they would have had the super clock up
Yeah, I
there
was
in
gonna
Michigan.
say.
They have the super clock up there.
Something tells me it could have been a lot worse if Whiteford wanted it to be. 84 is a lot of points.
I won't argue with you, yeah.
Jeez.
Boy. Let's put it together. Green Meadows Conference going to round out our podcast this week there. Edgerton holding on to the 7th spot in Region 26 in Division 7. They are at Hicksville, who is 1-7 overall, 23rd in Region 22. Edgerton 5-3 overall, coming off that loss to Fairview a week ago. Maddox Baker triggers the Bulldogs 1,761 yards passing, 23 TDs. He's ran for 405 yards and 9 more scores. Carter Gibson has caught 38 passes, 535 yards. Aces have been held to 6 or less points in 5 games and lost their last 6.
I've got all 4 road teams in the GMC, and I like home teams a lot, but I have all 4 road teams. I like Edgerton in this one.
Foreshadowing a little bit the rest of your picks.
Give it away.
I like Edgerton as well. I think they're definitely a tough football team, and I'll take them.
I got the Bulldogs in that matchup as well. I think Kevin kind of scoffed at that prediction you're giving because the last one we're picking is his hometown.
I know.
And I don't know if that was set up or not. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Ayersville 1-7, 1-4 in the GMC, eliminated from playoff contention. They're at Antwerp this week. The Archers are 3-5 and 2-3, 20th in Region 26. Don't know about the status of Eli Berner. He was lost to an injury in that Tinora game a week ago. That's a big blow for the Pilots if they lose him from that backfield. So I like the Archers in this matchup.
Boy, I may have to flip. I didn't know Berner was banged up.
Yeah.
That's in this matchup.
Don't know his status for this week.
Number one, it's razor thin anyway, and you take Berner out of the mix. To me, that tilts it a bunch. Because Antwerp, Coach Hale's got those guys rolling a little bit. That's a big win over Wayne Trace last week, man. And they're at home. God. I've got to go with Antwerp if there's even any question about Berner. I appreciate your being forthright.
Hey, you got to dig a little bit if you want some insight.
Insider knowledge, but you know what? I was not convinced Tinora was going to just go over to Ayersville last week and roll. They played well. Ayersville's played some tough games. They were close with Paulding. So you know what? A lot of pride over there in Ayersville. I want to see that program do well. I like when rivalries and schools are up. I'm gonna go with Ayersville.
You got the Pilots.
Despite the insider knowledge.
Okay. Got the Pilots this week.
Yeah, so I went against. I'm not taking all road teams. I'm gonna flip and go with Antwerp.
Oh, you are.
I am.
Let's
Okay.
have the Pilots. Earlier this season, I wasn't able to make it over to the game. We did a dedication of a bench. We didn't. Ryan and I helped to sponsor a bench for Chad Giesge. I had kind of a mutual friend that kind of landed me on this podcast, I think was Rob. But very, very seldom in my life, like this would be the only time, did I ever wish I was a pilot. Man, the athletic boosters and the athletic department over there, the AD, what a class act, bang up job with that dedication and commemorating a true American hero. They did an amazing job over there. Still a lot of pride in that community, a lot of good people over there. So I have to go on record saying there was one time in my life I wished I was a pilot, and that was that night. I wasn't able to make it over to that, but they did an awesome job with that. So
Yeah.
hopefully, start churning out some wins here in the next couple of years.
Continuing with our military theme here in the last week, and Chad was one of those heroes, like some of the folks we had on our Columbus Grove military football show a week ago.
Yeah, those were nice words there, Kevin. Very high praise.
Yeah.
And kudos to you. That was I kind of commented to you the write-up you did last year for the preseason. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. Yeah. So
thank you. Yeah.
Give a true honor to somebody that certainly deserved it.
Yeah. The Giesecke's are a special family, and Chad was a brave hero of ours. Give us some insight on what you learned about the Gieseckes over the years, Kevin. I know I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit. No, I know you.
Try not to get emotional. You talk about, and there's I'm sure there's a lot of pessimism out there in the world and the country right now. But I'm sure if you canvass the United States, there's families out there. But Chad was about as top of the top as you could possibly get in the military, an Air Force combat controller. He gets injured in Iraq, and I think it was months after his dad had retired from GM. The whole family just strap up their boots, and they took care of him he was, confined to a wheelchair, took care of him for 20 years, and what a positive influence for anybody that wants to know how you should treat family. I don't think, as folks get older, you don't see that even with, necessarily all the time with kids taking care of parents. So to continue the parental duty and take care of your child into their adulthood who was injured, it was just, for me, an honor to get to know the family, consider them very close, great friends, and certainly probably I feel sheepish to even get any recognition because the amount that they've taught me over the course of my career and my life has been certainly owe them.
Yeah.
So
a lot you can learn from that family. Yep. No doubt about it. Thank you for touching on that, Kevin. Yeah, just a special family that you would have had no idea what was going on in their lives.
Correct.
Because every time you saw them, they always had a smile on their face, and they were going through a pretty tough time with what they're dealing with Chad, and also Bill's passing just a couple years ago too.
Yeah, and
and Rob retiring early to take care of his brother.
Yeah. Anybody who didn't know Bill, I looked forward to getting a little bit of fatherly advice every week. Just I got something for you. What do you think of this?
Yeah.
And, so great people, great influence in my life, that's for sure.
Yeah, Rob and one of my brothers grew up as best friends at Ayersville, played on the 86 state runner-up team, and we were cutting wood a couple years ago, and I don't know how we talked to Rob somehow, and he says, well, Rob's into the fitness stuff and the physical activity. He says, well, when you guys are hauling wood, let me know. I'll come over. Well,
did he persecute you because you were using any type of machine?
Oh, yeah. I'll get to it. So we tell him, I don't know, I think we said, we'll probably start about 8, Rob. That son of a gun showed up at my parents' house where the property is that we were cutting wood at like 6 a.m. Nobody's up. I'm not even there yet. My brother was spending the night there. And they're like, what are you doing here at 6 a.m.? We said 8 at the earliest. He was 2 hours early. And then we have a gator that we haul the wood in. Well, he got mad because we would pull it too close to the wood pile to unload it. He wanted to walk 20 steps to get his steps in. My brother and I are like, are you crazy? Why would you not just back it right up to the wood pile so you can just chuck it right off into the wood pile? Oh, no. You had to walk 20 steps with each little piece of wood.
Yeah, sounds right. I'm talking about the same
These are crazy, man. They are nuts. But what a special family. Back to our GMC picks. As always, we get off topic here. We have no script on this show, if you have not noticed already. Fairview is at Wayne Trace this week. The Apaches 7-1, 4-1 in the GMC, holding on to GMC title hopes. Fairview quarterback William Zedek, 160-247, 2,479 yards, 25 touchdowns, only 4 picks that he has thrown this season. Logan Olinger, 78 yards away from 1,000 receiving. Gavin Mead, 496 yards on 34 snags. The Apaches averaging over 40 points per game, and Fairview won 34-20 20 a year ago. I think they pick up the win. Although this Wayne Trace team has shown the ability they can play some really good defense.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Fairview here, but yeah, Wayne Trace, they're a puzzle to me, man. I never know what's going on week to week there in Haviland. And so I'm going to go with the known quantity, Coach Rakes and the Fairview Apaches.
I would say no question. I was impressed with Wayne Trace when I watched them play, but yeah, I really like William Zedike. I like that offense. They bounced back after the loss to Paulding, and I like Fairview in that one.
I like Fairview as well. Man, Wayne Trace has just figured out how to stop Tinora, it seems like. They just play good defense against them here the last several years recently. Going to round out this week's podcast with Paulding at Tinora. The Rams can really throw a kind of a stick in the spokes here of the GMC title race with a victory over Paulding, who is 8-0, 6-0. Fifth in Region 22 are the Panthers. Tinora comes in at 4-4, 4-1 in the GMC. 17th in Region 22 are the Rams, so they need a win here. The Rams are 4-0 all time against Paulding. Paulding averages 361.8 yards per game, including 246.6 passing. Colt Hunt, their quarterback, 97 to 163. 1,882 yards and 24 touchdowns, just 4 picks. Jordan Mans, 32 catches, 758 yards, 8 TDs to pace Paulding. Blake Roanhouse, 33 grabs, 571 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jalen Mans has chipped in 472 yards and 6 touchdowns receiving. Paulding has outscored foes 104 to 13 in the first quarter. The Panthers have allowed only 2.5 yards per rush. Jalen Mans leads the defense with 96 tackles, 3 sacks, 19 tackles for loss. Blake Roanhouse, 6 interceptions. Jordan Mans has 4. On the other side, Tinora is led by Owen Farrell, 141 to 243 passing, 1,686 yards, 16 touchdowns. Dylan Shively has 32 catches, 515 yards, half a dozen scores. Josh Lieb, 51 catches, 492 yards. Owen Reynolds, 8 TDs, 31 catches. Tinora has allowed just 76 completions on 147 attempts.
Kevin, you go ahead and start us off, big guy.
Yeah, break this one down for us.
I'll say it right off the bat. Everybody notices I haven't had my lead pipe pick yet, so we're putting it down on the Rams, boys. We're going hometown. Need to get the boys pumped up a little bit. Got a lot to play for. They've been in some games this year. They played, they had a bad first half against Archbold. Played with them. Young secondary. I saw some highlights of the Mans teeing off on William Zedike. That worries me. But hey, I'm gonna go pump up the hometown crowd, get the Rams going. We're putting it down right here. If I don't get invited back, it's because I've made a bad pick, but I'll take the 4-4 Rams. Got to get above 500.
Lead pipe lock.
Lead pipe lock.
The Rambos. In the Fantastic 50, okay?
Is he on to something here?
Well, Fantastic 50 only says Paulding by 5. And they're, 8-0? Mm-hmm.
They've played in some close games.
Yes, they have.
Played in some close games.
Haven't played the Tinora schedule.
Well, yeah, we'll see. That's at home for Tinora. Fans, we need to get them up a little bit. Been a little bit quiet in the stands this year. Need to get some excitement. I'm talking to everybody that's listening right now. We got to go.
I like that,
Time to
Kevin.
go.
Yeah.
You
could have Fairview, Paulding, and Tinora all at 4-1 or 5-1 going into.
Yeah. I mean, if you
final.
And to be honest with you, if you even said now Tinora's got it, they don't have a cakewalk to the end of the season, but if you said at the beginning of the season of anybody, hey, you're going to be in GMC hunt. I mean, we had a lot of younger guys. Our secondary is very young. They were not physical to start the year. They're growing. You see them growing. So we'll see. We will see. I'd like to have Tinora at a place where they are in the driver's seat of the GMC year in and year out. I think just the school that we have, the community, the athletes, that's where the program should be. So I'll be nudging them from the back here. Let's go. Let's go.
I like that, Kevin. Lynn, does Tinora have a chance at home?
Yeah, absolutely they do.
Okay. Lead pipe lock, that takes some courage. But
That's right.
I got like Tinora.
I'm talking him into it. Let's go.
I
You already
do.
flipped him with one.
Yep.
Let's flip another,
I
GMC.
do.
Let's go.
I like Tinora. I do. I like Tinora. They showed last year that there's some resolve and some toughness and resilience in that program. I got burnt picking against Paulding against Fairview. Mm-hmm. I got burnt. Now, Fairview.
That one surprised me. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't see Paulding beating Fairview, but
No.
I think Fairview would like to have that game back as well.
Well, they would, because the way that unfolded, and you give Paulding credit, they got it done. But that was like a movie script. Like, that's hard to believe, and I don't think that would happen again, but it could. I'm going with Paulding on the road. The Manns brothers, they just are that X factor, but I would not be a bit surprised if the Rambos are there in the fourth.
I watched the Manns last year when they came to Tinora to play basketball, and they were a step quicker than everybody else on the basketball court.
Yeah.
And somebody told me he's put on some weight, some real muscles, and I think he's the linebacker, and
Yeah, they look
that
good.
concerns me. That does concern me. But hey, get the ball quick, get it to some of our athletes, get in space, and see what happens.
Yeah, I like it. Lynn, what are you going to do, big guy?
He didn't pick Ayersville. He's not picking the Rams.
Okay.
I kind of went into this pick blind. I wanted to hear what both you said. But I think the Kevin McCann factor of what he just said may rile up the green and white this week.
Ooh.
Give me the Rambos.
Hey, let's go.
Give me the Rambos. I may be never welcome back to the village limits of Paulding if I pick against them this week and they win, because they did it to me earlier because I picked Fairview and they beat the Apaches.
I'll go with
and
you.
I'm worried
I'll go with
because
you if
the
you have to hand out
the
an award
man's
with you.
boys worry me a little
I
bit.
do. I'm
Blake
the same.
Roanhouse, Avery Cooper, Colt Hunt. Ugh.
I am the
They
same.
really scare me. You guys scare me. Because I had to face them in the eye a couple weeks ago when I went over there to deliver the rock-solid performance after they beat Fairview.
Is my rumors true?
Yes. I shook their hand, and I'm still trying to get it back.
Ooh, Lynn, that took some
But I'm
guts.
taking the Rams.
Let's go.
Well, if you want to catch me, you've got to
that's
go
right.
against
That's
me. You know?
This will get me within 1.5, I think. There may be one if one of the Northern 8 matchups goes my way, because that'll get me a half a game.
Yeah. Well,
But I like Tinora this week.
Okay.
I think they get it home. I think they're going to, the whole community is going to rally
mix things
together.
up in the GMC. Make a muck of it. Let's go.
they could. If anybody can, it's Tinora. They did last year. Started out 0-3.
Yep.
You know, and they just showed, again, they showed some resilience, man. So that one will be a fun one to follow. It really would. I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it.
Should be a great game. We don't know where our game cast is going yet this week. We're still waiting to hear back from a couple places
Okay.
as we head into week number 9 here. And next week we'll round it out. The great Maddie Klein from BCSN Sports will be here. Great sideline reporter for them. Huh. You better get in the lab this week and do some studying like this guy did, because Maddie will come in here. I'll about guarantee you more prepared than all of our guests.
There's a good chance.
She knows her stuff.
Well, so one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to have a 7-game lead next
That's true.
week,
That is
or
true.
else it's going to be razor
It
thin.
could be like 10.
Yeah, or it could be 1.
And no matter
So-
what, I'm walking away, dusting my hands
Yeah,
off.
that's true. That's
you are.
true.
Kevin, thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us
It's
this
fun.
week. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Get us some DPT hats.
We
We'll
can do that.
make an
We can do that.
exchange.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'll wear them with pride.
Yeah, I will
There we
too.
go.
I will too. I'm not going to wear any Tinora stuff though.
Hey, we parsed the colors out nicely. Little Napoleon blue,
There you
little
go.
Tinora
There you
green
go.
mixed in there.
Yep.
It's all right.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us this week. Coach Strock, thank you
Yeah.
as well. Thank you to all of our sponsors and our listeners. Be sure to tune into our KK Collision football show this week, 20th anniversary of Patrick Henry football. Bill Inselman will be here. Some former players, Ben George, Mark Krause, Justin Lederer. The Yarnell boys will be here.
Do we have Zach George
Zach
also?
is going to be joining us via Zoom call.
Okay.
Also, Scott Leonard, who was their defensive coordinator. Was it Brian Yarnell that played on that?
Brian.
It was Brian, right?
Yeah. Yep. Brian Yarnell. A little jitterbug.
Yes.
You had Mark Krause and Brian Yarnell. They
Yeah.
complemented each other well.
Yeah, have them. We couldn't get Todd Peterson here or Bob George.
Bobby?
Again.
No, Bobby?
No, Bobby.
He's retired, too.
Village council meeting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe it. He's a giver, not a taker,
So Todd Peterson, again, slights us.
yeah.
It's been 10 years that Todd Peterson was supposed to come on our podcast, and every time we got him lined up, he finds an excuse. I don't think he likes us.
It's either that or he's scared.
Pete, I don't know what it is,
I
but
think he's scared of the microphone. Kevin McCann wasn't afraid
Kevin's
of the
not.
microphone.
No, he's not.
He wasn't afraid.
No. Have a great week, everyone. We'll be back next week.